go.
Back again. You hear me? Say amen. He woke you up again. That's what I used to say on my Cheef, my morning cup mix, because it would be in the morning. But it still applies, even though it's Thursday evening. Happy Thursday Eve. I mean, happy Friday Eve. Thursday, happy Thursday, all that, right? But it still applies, so I carried it on to the Cheef and go. You know what I mean? Because it still makes sense when you think about it. Say amen, he woke you up again. You could work at night or something, you might not wake up to a certain hour. Because like I used to be a late night owl and an early birdie. Shout out to my guy Gabby Mo. I stay up to 3 or 4 and wake up at 9. But I'm getting old. I don't really, my shift and change. I became a moon child, but I really love the mornings. When I wake up in the morning, it definitely hits different. But hey, you know what I mean? I'm down with it all. So like I said, another edition of the Cheef and Go, y'all. Hey, look, I'm just be honest with y'all, like I always am. I can't help it. I can't be nothing but honest. Yeah, I really gotta. I might have to take a week off, and just really lock in and line up guests and line up some shows because I be doing so many things and the economy the way it is, and I be over here and over there and trying to get it, and you know what I'm saying, trying to get to it. And then it's like, but I got to do my shows. I'm committed to, doing it for the culture, right? Keeping it cranking for the culture. And, yeah.
He said the world's crazy.
The world's crazy. Orange man, dump Trump head ass. Nigga doing all type of wild shit. They talking about 250 years of this country, but happy Juneteenth. Y'all can go blow fireworks up and blow shit up in American tradition if y'all want. I ain't even into that. Now, I love to see some great fireworks. The technology has changed, every year it just gets more extravagant. But y'all know, right? They usually do 20,000. It say like they fire off 20,000 fireworks. I don't know what that really means. It's like, damn, that seemed like a lot when all these places in DC. So that's the average of DC. So for this year, because of the 250 year celebration, Mr. Orange face head ass dump face neck ass Trump, I don't care, I'm the best, trying to top a Guinness World Record, which was set by the Philippines, where they had 810,000 or some shit like that, right? So now this administration is trying to do 850,000 units or explosions or whatever, starting at 10:30, 11 o'clock, which is just...
He said the world's crazy.
Okay? So...
It's nothing but the devil and evil.
I mean, I'm just saying. So I don't know. I don't play with DC and fireworks at all for years. Man, ride down Benning Road or the heart of DC, Southeast, Northwest, anywhere in Northeast, Sheriff Road. Man, it's like fog. You can't even see where you driving. Okay? That should be like Iraq.
Crazy. They real crazy.
There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from.
Yeah, I don't play none of that because it's like, yeah, like I said, it's cool. I get it. But for one, the principle of the whole idea of what the 4th of July represents and holidays in general, right? That's a whole nother story for a whole nother episode. We can dive deep into the consumerism and the, just the energies of these holidays and what, what's the underlying deeper meaning, right? But hey, do what you do. You want to blow it up, blow that shit up. But I was trying to figure out a show all day, and it's like, and I got like a bunch of ideas written down. I got, stuff that I get from my different apps and programs that, you know, and I had a couple guests I tried to call. But I do call them last minute. I'm gonna put that on me. I ain't gonna be mad at them
Don't
because
have no money for bail.
we don't have no money for jail time.
We don't have no money for bail.
Oh, I thought she said jail time. I ain't got all my other effects, but no, I love her. Paradise Nails, y'all make sure y'all follow her. She be talking that talk. You hear me? We're gonna blow it up this weekend, y'all. But like, look, if I was a terrorist, man, I'd be it's Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius, but I ain't a real terrorist. Look, this would be the prime opportunity to, you know what I'm talking about? Because man, they got all this shit going on. Don't even drive through DC this weekend. I'm just letting you know. Because guess
They're
what?
crazy. They real crazy.
You hear me? And I'm just trying to
Start no shit, won't be no shit.
I'm just trying to not start no shit. Okay? Just working with my sound effects that I got in the program. How y'all doing? What's up? What's up, y'all? Who up in here? Goddamn, I'm the goddamn CEO. What's up, cuz? Hey, salute to you. Appreciate y'all. Oh, Stompy in the building. What's up, my guy? Much love to my man Stompy. Stomp Dog Larry Atwater. Good man right there. So glad you done stopped on through a Stomp Dog. I'm the goddamn CEO. Yes, but so I have you know, actually figured out in the last 2 hours, you know, what we could talk about tonight. So, what makes Go-Go unique? Why is Go-Go so special, right? Little left hand Larry, okay? Little left hand Larry is something special. Always have been, you know. And now got Taco in the building, you know, in the mix. I love it. I love it. I love to see Mickey's sons. I love to see Buggy sons, PJ. I don't know if PJ home, but can't wait till he get home. I love to watch PJ play, but love these generational go-go families, right? You know, Funk and Foots. A lot of people don't know KC and Black Mike from Pure Elegance's cousins, right? It's a lot of families in the mix. A lot of people may not know that Sean Gamage, Sean from Mature Clientele, his son is the one in the band singing. So me and my man Dennis Rado, we trying to do a whole, you know, documentary, or you know, we want to highlight that. And we reaching out to the brothers and we try and put it together. But y'all already know what it is. We got Dump Trump in office, and it ain't nothing nice. And you know, he's slowing down everything because we got to go out here and get money for milk and eggs and rent and you know what I'm talking about, gas and electric. Yes, yes, yes. Southeast with the F. Okay. Shout out to the madness. I don't know if y'all saw my commercial. I meant to cue it up. Like I said, look, I got to do what I got to do, but I'm here for y'all, and I'm here now, and it's always gonna be good. But shout out to the Universal Madness. That madness connection. Hey, put you right up in the mix. Yeah, doing it for the madness shop. You know what I'm talking about? The one-stop shop. 3641 Leonardtown Road. Did I say that right? Because I'm dyslexic sometimes. I say 6341. But yeah, check them out. Check out the mixes I got on YouTube. I've been doing the Madness, Summer Madness mix. Shout out to Rick in the Bag and Ed and all the family, the originators. But yeah, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I got some videos I'm gonna play, you know, just kind of whether folks from outside of the culture or whatever, but they just break it down. Natalie Hopkinson is up in the mix, and we all know and love and respect her, I would think. If you don't, you're a hater. Is a joint that Scooby did with a channel called Atlantic. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that, and then I have a conversation with Chuck's son, with Chuck's oldest son, Greg, right? that I recorded on the phone. I'm gonna play y'all a little bit of that. So we're gonna get in here. Tony 81SC, shout out to you. Sherrod Natural, my guy Sherrod. What's up, Sherrod? In the building. Salute to you. Appreciate you. Garland, Cuzzo, Just One Persevere Band. We in here. We're gonna talk about why go-go music is unique, why it's so special, because it is. There's no denying it, and let's just break it down. And then please feel free to comment and talk to me, because I got a couple notes. But like I said, I'm on the fly. I'm like go-go, live. We've been running all day, and we come to that show. And you know how it is, Stomp. You're looking at that stick bag, and you picking your favorite sticks. And you're okay, let me put these over here, and then put them over there, and we about to do this, and we just go, and that's what makes it great, because we are trained and ready to go. We stay ready. We ain't never got to get ready, right? So and that goes for all the musicians, not just the drummers. I'm talking to Stomp, right? Sean, no. So let's start off with this joint from and I'm gonna make it full screen. I think I can. I know I can. I think I can. Y'all remember that? Oh, but hold up. Let's be first and foremost. I'm Cheef. This is the Cheef and Go. I'm Cheef, Lil Cheef, Chiefy Dog, Chief Rocker, Chief Dizzle for Shizzle for Sheezy for show, the cheat code, Chief Keep It Brief, Rockadamas, Rockaware, Chiefy 64 times, the chiefiest of the chiefiest, the doggiest of the doggiest, as my nephew say, right? We up in here. Much love, y'all. Hope everybody's doing good. We got that goddamn, we got a big weekend coming up. Stomp probably got 17 gigs, Shout out to all the musicians, all the go-go musicians, all the managers, all the promoters, for better or for worse, Let's just try to get along. And that's going to be one of the messages that Greg, Chuck's son, is saying. And let's just spread love, y'all. That's what I do. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I try to do for the most. I'm not perfect, but some of y'all know me. Yeah, clap it up. Let's just be safe, and let's get through the weekend, because it's all love. Well, that's a gig, Stomp. Even better, probably, right? Who you up there with? Jilly from Philly? Who you up there with? Stomp? But yeah, so we're gonna get this thing started with no further ado. Like I said, y'all know I'm on the fly. Like I said, I would like to have this full screen. Nope, that ain't the button I'm looking for. I want it full screen here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Right? So let's play that.
There's more to DC than just monuments, politicians, and cherry blossoms. Outside of the federal city lies a cultural hub, and what really sets DC apart from anywhere else in the world is its own genre, unique unto itself, go-go, the official music of DC.
Go-go, from the go-go capital of the world, Washington, D.C.
Welcome to D.C. You know when you're at the USA Cup, you're taking a slightly, I'm taking a slightly. Now you go at them, you gon' be right back. We gon' be right here, we gon' be right here, we ain't going nowhere.
Percussion is the key to go-go. The go-go beat is called the pocket. The kit drummers keep the main pocket, while the other percussionists on congas, timbales, and cowbells add in some flavor on top. The music relies on non-stop grooves to keep the people on their feet and on the dance floor. And like most music forms, go-go has its roots in Africa. Go-go is more than just music. It's a whole experience. The best way to explain it is just to show you. That's Chuck Brown, the godfather of go-go.
I don't hear you. Oh, yes, I do. Okay.
Chuck Brown pioneered the sound, style, and the experience of go-go. His fusion of funk, jazz, and Latin quickly spread throughout the city. The Godfather's legacy is unmatched, and there's simply been no go-go without Chuck Brown. Soon, go-go music was all around the city. The music of go-go is as ingrained into the city as its multi-generational native Washingtonians, and you can't separate either of them from the city, though that doesn't mean some people aren't trying to. Like any other metropolitan area, DC natives are fighting the battle of gentrification. In the spring of 2019, go-go and gentrification clashed heads. The famous 7th and Florida T-Mobile / Metro PCS store is a beloved and historic site for go-go. For years, the speakers out on the corner were blasting go-go 24/7, until one day, it all went silent when residents of the new luxury condos nearby filed a noise complaint. This was a slap in the face to DC natives and their culture. Washingtonians would not stand by and allow their music to be silenced and let this blatant gentrification occur. The hashtag Don't Mute DC movement was born, and go-go was the flag to rally behind it. The people responded and brought the noise with them. Led by go-go bands, large crowds gathered around that same corner to show defiance against gentrification. Demonstrations ran for months. On April 10, 2019, the music came back to 7th and Florida when the chief executive of T-Mobile spoke. The music should not stop in DC, but it didn't stop there. The Don't Mute DC movement paved the way for organizations like Long Live Go-Go, Mochella, and the Go-Go Museum. From dance halls to demonstrations, the people of DC had been heard, and go-go had revealed itself as a powerful protest tool. However, go-go has always been political protest music. While not always pushing the message lyrically, through expressions of Black joy and cultural resistance, go-go has always been an attempt by Black DC natives to negotiate and express their African heritage and to revise, affirm, and project their collective cultural identities. It's important to recognize the cultural icons and social and political pioneers of African American history that got us where we are today. But it's pivotal that we recognize their achievements and not let the noise stop with them.
Yes, indeed. So just wanted to share that piece, right? I mean, it goes back to 2019 and, you know, the Metro PCS store, 7th and Florida, 7th and U, which later I learned that the Mac Attack Arcade was right there in that vicinity, I think across the street, right? A legendary spot where people went to get go-go music, which is kind of just added to the, you know, like, wow, you know, you know, like it just added to the story, the narrative, the energy of the fact that these people came in and wanted it their way all of a sudden, where they've been playing music there for years. And then, like I said, I didn't know. I heard of Mac Attack Arcade for years. I just didn't know it was right there across the street. And I know Foots had something to do with it, right? I remember Kwame, Mac Attack Arcade, whatever. But, you know, I can't be everywhere all the time. I'm a little younger. I've been around and I get around, but I do my due diligence. And so that's just crazy that happened like that. So I wanted to share that with y'all. And then let's get into, because like he said in this video, and most people say, and most people attribute the formation of go-go to the Godfather, Chuck Brown. Rightfully so. I'm not opposing that, but I do, you know, read a bunch of articles, talk to a bunch of pioneers, and I'm just in the culture and I'm just observing. I listen and I watch, so I know that. And history is never as simple, right? It's always multiple stories, and they say history is told by the victors. So if you want to call Chuck the victor, whatever that. But I mean, and it's not. I don't think even a lot of these other people, that other pioneers that were coming up at that time bringing this music in, would even I don't think most of them would even debate or God damn it, guys, it's been, look, I just had technical issues and it's like a lot, so I don't think they would even argue whether Chuck should be the the name, the person that's identified and recognized for bringing this music to the forefront. So it's a few pieces on this. I had to make this whole audio into a video at like 7:52 because they would.
There's a lot of people that contribute to the go-go sound, right? And you can't deny them, right? You got to give.
So let's just be clear. So I had cut myself off. I couldn't just play the audio. It wouldn't let me just bring in and present the audio. And I forgot about that. And I had to go on Final Cut and make it a video real quick at 7:53. So this is me and Greg P talking about Chuck, the music, the culture. But right here, he's talking about, the introduction and what we were just talking about, the accreditation to who was the most influential, or we all know Chuck put it on the map, and kind of like why, and the other players that were around. So just to give y'all introduction of what this video is.
Tillery, the two-horn player. You gotta give Curtis, who was the member of the Senators in the Chuck Brown band. Leroy. It's man, it's a lot of people that contribute, but Chuck Brown, Dad, was the only one who packaged it. Kept it. It's like he seen something, and he took that and he built on it to create the whole go-go genre.
Yes.
Right.
Right, which was a place before. So he created the vibe, the culture, the
The
environment.
exactly. Let's just put it in comparison with the Sugar Hill Gang. They are not considered or loved as a original hip hop group, right? But they were the first hip hop song.
Yep.
Right.
And from
They kinda took
there,
it mainstream or whatever.
exactly. But Dad took it mainstream pocket, and packaged it and kept it going and drove it home. He drove it home, right? So you got those coattails guys that would say, "Oh, if it wasn't for me saying, play this part or to do this part or to do that part," and that's creative force, right? But you're going to always have that one person that's going to be able to take all of that little bit of entities and make it one big conglomerate, if you understand what I'm saying.
Package it up, frame it in a certain way where it's digestible by the masses, taking all those pieces. Yeah, all y'all were parts of it, and I'm aware of that. But he gets the credit because, like you said, he was able to take all those influences that was going on around and at the time, and put it in a certain package that was marketable.
Right. And it labeled it, because if you go back to the word and the term go-go, it stems from back in the 60s. Go-go was a place to go, not just a genre of music. Because Smokey Robinson would tell you in the 60s, going to a go-go. Right.
Hey.
And that's where that concept of idea came, right? Instead of stopping the music, let's go. And back in the day at the go-go, used to have the swingers, used to have the girls up in the little booths dancing with the hot pants on and jerk it. So you got to go all the way back to get to where you're at, right? And this is how go-go is a tribute to Chuck.
Okay. So talking to Greg Pete, Chuck's oldest son. Shout out to Cootie. Because Cootie know everybody. He be tying me into people. And me and Greg done had some of the greatest conversations. What's up, Lady O in the building? yeah, just talking about why go-go is unique, right? So I gave you a couple examples of like videos. I done took the other one off. I forgot what that channel was. Damn it. Shout out to Bob Backwoods. What Band Nation? Shout out to What Band Nation. All day, every day. Them sockets is supreme. DC Molly 202. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate everybody coming through. So, like, but he kind of gave you the breakdown because I was talking to him and I was talking about the shake your tambourine, go and get yourself a the shake your tambourine. When Swiss Beats sampled it, a lot of people ain't catch that. And I'm like, that's Chuck. You can hear his voice, right? And I was talking to him about that, and he said that's Salt of the Earth, right? Because I'm thinking it's either the Soul Searchers, Chuck and the Soul Searchers, the Los Latinos. These are the more popular bands that Chuck was with during this period. But he said, no, that was Salt of the Earth. And I had heard that name before, right? And it was just like, oh, okay. So he was just kind of breaking it down. And the Jaguars, and he was like, yeah, they were very influential. So you got Black Heat, you got the Young Senators, you got, these were the bands that were happening in the early 70s, mid 70s, dropping music. EU was one of them, right? Like I talked about in my last show, where I did a gig with my guy Bo Friday. Shout out Bo Friday, and he showed me a flyer that he saved from 1974 with Summer in the Parks in the Showmobile, and and that joint opened up, and it was like Easter weekend, and April 19th. I remember specifically. It was so many shows, and they were like, just a city DC band. And they was like, yeah, we would have 2 shows a day. And it was so many shows. And the only band that's still playing that was on that list was Experience Unlimited. And he told me Sugar Bear wasn't running the one at that time. It was a guy named Oscar. And he told me to ask Funk about Oscar. James Funk. You remember Oscar? Let's talk about Oscar. But no, like just the history, man. That and that's kind of how me and Bo Friday connected. And I'm gonna get them on the pod. I'm gonna get them through here and just talking about different things. So I had uncles and my father and cousins that was on the scene, that done did some things, published or not. Went to school with these guys. Went to Baloo with Bear and so let me get this other little joint off my screen. So yeah, and so I just love the history. I love to look into it and get the details, right? Because like I said, I done played with prop utensils with Benny and Mike Muse. Check out Mike Muse got a documentary that just came out. I forget the channel. I try to post it in the joint. And it was good. Mike Hughes, R.I.P. to him. Scotty, not Scotty from Lil Benny, but light skinned Scotty. Of course, Roy Battle, Scooter, Benny. And I've been to the practices. Well, you know how practices go. Half of the band late, and so those conversations happen. And I'm just a young 22, 23-year-old, just a fly on the wall, absorbing this information about these stories, right? The reminiscence. So I've heard a lot of things just in my travels, but I also research and do my due diligence. So let's talk about the characteristics that make go-go different, right? DC Molly 202 already shouted you out. The real raw bass always coming through. Much love, brother. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody. I'm about to streamline this joint and really bring y'all some content, but I just want to keep it going. Like I started it, I gotta keep it going. But we gonna crack the code in a minute. But it's always good, right? We always gonna keep it cranking for the culture. But let's talk about what makes go-go unique. Let's talk about why it stands out. Right? What's first and foremost? What's the main idea? In sixth grade, remember, what's the main idea of that paragraph, right? What's the main thing, right? The strongest, the most influential, the most impactful aspect, element of go-go that makes it different. Wah. Talk to me quick now. What did I hear? Huh? What is the main component? See, I'll be trying to use my little 3-syllable words. I read a couple books, but I went to Blade shit. With, so, nah, Blade wasn't that bad. Shout out to Dr. Stouffer. But like, let's think about it. What's the main thing that separates go-go from all other music genres when you hear it? Eric Stevens. Help me out, Eric Stevens. Nobody else want to answer. What's the main component? What's the main element? What's the main part of go-go that separates it from everything off the break, right? If you got virgin ears to go-go, the drive, absolutely. What creates the drive? What creates the go-go drive, right? So let's just start there. Call and response, yes. What makes the call and response work? What makes you call? What makes you respond to the call? What makes you say, hell yeah, you goddamn right, what makes you respond to the call? CEO, I'm the goddamn CEO. It's not a trick question, y'all. We all know this. Stop playing. But thank y'all for answering and tuning in with me. Nah, but real shit. What's the main thing that makes go-go different from everything else? It's real easy. Hint, hint. Uh-oh. I can't freak the sample on StreamYard, but shout out to StreamYard. Because they make it all possible. But shout out to the Madness Connection. Shout out to Go-Go Loops. All the freshest, dopest, authentic go-go style samples in the world, the best that you can get. Multiple packs, right? Make sure when you go to the website, you look at what you're buying. Please don't send me emails like, I bought the $5 hit pack. There ain't no loops in this pack, nigga. No, it's a go-go crank hit. It's $5. No, you're not. There's no loops in there, bro. But much love to you. Thank you for even spending that $5. But yeah, like, come on, guys. Shout out to the Universal Madness. I'll put you right up in the mix. That Madness Connection. Hey, you know what? I've been hearing from my constituents that Madness is the best. No other company trumps the Madness. So I will be pulling up at 3641 before the 4th of July weekend in Air Force One, the best plane, the best country. We're the best. So I have to get outfitted by the best. Universal Madness. Someone tell Rick and Ed I'm coming through. Put the guns away. There's no problems. There's no problem. Okay? I'm orange. Melania will be with me. You can take her in the back. Maybe? Okay. She's the best. She doesn't love me, but maybe. Okay. All right. We got the answer yet? God damn it. the goddamn percussion, the beat, right? The drums and the congos, the engine and the transmission. That's what separates go-go from everything, right? And that's on the surface. Even deeper than that, the sound man that knows how to mix the drums and congos to stand above the music or blend in with the music or drive the music under the music, but still kind of stand above the music, right? Which is amazing. Shout out to our sound men. I was talking to Vince yesterday, right? Me and Vince had a great conversation. Shout out to Vince. Shout out to Junior. Shout out to Lord Joe. Shout out to Deuce Nine. Shout out to Googie. Shout out to everybody that do sound, right? Because without them, it wouldn't. Without a sound man that know how to mix go-go to bring that to you know to compress those drums and percussion to make them punch, but not over to not be louder than the vocals or the keys, or and to be able to just gate stuff and compress it and EQ the mics so the drums ain't coming through because the drums loud, the timbales. How do you tame them timbales, right? So all this stuff is going on on the stage, and you got this front line with these vocal mics that all this backline noise is trying to come through. So you got to compress them front line mics and EQ them a certain way where those frequencies not coming through, right? And so you get a little feedback, and you be in the crowd drunk. Someone, man, man, do you know how hard it is to run the sound? Shout out to the sound men. Much love and respect, because without them, wouldn't be no crank. The high Congo, yes, the high Congo is a ancestral calling, and in itself, especially if it's outside, you going towards it, right? With the reverb, right? Blocks, clocks, 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 slocks, clocks, slocks, do, blocks, slocks, do, slocks, slocks, do. And people from out of town, they be like, what's that horse gallop shit y'all be doing? Block, block, block. Because once you put the reverb on a high Congo, it give it a double kind of like, right? Because it's just extending the sound, giving it a short echo. Block, block. That's what we call plex and reverb. And then we turn the pitch up and down. That's when they put them in the water, right? Drip drop, as rappers say, right? Bloop, bloop, bloop. So these the effects we do that no one else in the world does, right? So not only do we mix drums and congos in a certain way, not only that, we play the junior bongos, the junior LPs, and no other music really uses those, right? Right? Then we tune our congos, we call them congos. We done been over this, guys. Wop baba loo baba yabba dabba doo. They congos in DC. They're not congas. We ain't talking about the Congo in Africa. We talking about Congo drums. They congos. Shout out to Jungle Boogie. Go Mickey. Who he gonna come on here soon. I seen him like a couple weeks ago. He said, how old you want? Yeah, come on, Mick. Shout out to Mick. Hey, little auntie, okay? The orange man is the best man. There's nobody better, okay? Huh? He come on that joint. I was watching the news earlier. He just come on there and he be like, I won the election 3 times, okay? And nobody's better. Hey, Melania. Melania be like, she's my wife. She loves me, And this reporter, she's just obnoxious. She's getting out of pocket. You shut up. Like, just the terms they use. Like, when you watch the news, like, just even some of the terms in James Blanch, what's this other Bama name? And they be like, the Iranians are dummies. They think that, what political figure calls another country's political dummies and shit like that? Anyway, we're in a great time because I'm in the driver's seat. I'm the bus, okay? Don't worry about my toupee. I got a madness hat on. You won't see it, okay? It doesn't matter. This weekend's going to be great. I'm building a ballroom. fireworks in 250 years. Okay? Huh? ICE is doing what they should do. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, thanks, Auntie Sandra. Auntie Sandra. I call her Sandy D, y'all. But yeah, so the beat, right? First of all, the beat is so distinct and different from anything else, right? Which derived from the Mr. Magic beat that Grover Washington created, right? Boom, 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 dun, 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 it's a little faster, right? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, hey, right? That's where the go-go beat come from. And so Chuck was living in his time and went to Lorton and traded some cigarettes and shit and got a guitar, makeshift guitar down Lorton and started playing from North Carolina. God damn it. Come up here and the 68 riots and all the things that was going on where King got killed. And created a whole new sound because the people needed a voice, the people needed an outlet, the people needed love, right? And Chuck and he gave them love, and the Young Senators and the Black Heat, and it's so many bands. I'm just naming the ones. I can only do but so much, guys. But put them in the comments if you know who was important, like Salt of the Earth. Shout out to my Uncle Kenny, Simba, right? Cosmic Crescent, all these groups that were influential. Shout out to Max Kidd, Dyke, TTED. That's kind of what me and Greg Chuck Son was talking about too, and how influential and important he was. So he came through our camp. Charlie said, man, so Charlie would bring some of these people through, and we didn't know who these guys was at 16, and they would just help us. Like Funk was one, of course, Roy, Battle, RB. We got Funky Ned would work more closely, but he would bring people like Dyke through. And Dyke had a session with us. And he said, man, you got to figure out how to make a hook with one word, right? How you make a hook with one word. So these were the type of tests we had. And then you get It's Time. And that's 2 words, but these were the type of training, type of training exercises we had with people that Charlie Finn would bring through, right? Who he knew were tested and experts at this, masters at this. So shout out to them. Shout out to all the ones that have came and gone and passed away. Shout out to Lil Benny. Shout out to Chuck Brown. RIP, rest in beats, and all that good stuff. Much love to y'all. We're just talking about what makes go-go so unique. And so then I found this video. Let me check on Instagram. Who up in here? ANTC34 join. Okay, appreciate you. So let's play this joint right here. That I've never even seen, but I started watching it and it was pretty cool. With Scooby the Godson, man, Frank Sirius, man, one of the greatest talents in go-go to me. I come up, around the time of Optimistic Tribe, and shout out to Ignatius and RIP to I Can. And this, these are guys, even though they was our rivalries at that moment. Scooby and Taco and Tony Reds and I Can and Peony and E. Man, they was like a problem, bro. Oh my goodness. I used to have nightmares. I said that in another show. And I'm exaggerating, but like, yeah, these were the guys we had to stand up against. So this is Scooby talking to Atlantic Live is the channel. Washington, D.C., the capital of go-go is the name of the video. Play that for y'all.
Hello. So I'm so excited that I get to start out my morning here at City Lab. It's one of my favorite conferences, but particularly with this conversation about culture and art and the people who do that and how that shapes the lifeblood of a city. So before we get to that, Natalie showed me a quote from a particular paper in New York that was talking about DC. And this is it. I want to read it so I get it correct. Washington can be an isolating and serious place to live sometimes. Considering the steady influx of tourists, the underlying tension of politics, and the residents who come and go, depending on the administration, it's uncommon to meet a Washington native. And it takes a lot for Washingtonians to get excited about the same thing. Calling it a fun-loving city would be a stretch. So it feels a little bit like a gift from the media gods, so I'm gonna take it, and I want you both to respond to it. Natalie, you wanna start?
That is high-level trolling for those of us who live here, and particularly the go-go community, because I can't think of anything more fun-loving than go-go culture.
I mean, it's like you said, high-level trolling. But for me, someone who's been in go-go music since I was 9 years old, that's all it's been for me. It's fun. You know, for a long time before it became business, it was all fun. From a time where, you know, every corner, you know, had a go-go band. Every school had bands, and you know, had all the kids would gather at the go-go. So for me, it's all been fun since I've been living. I'm fifth generation Washingtonian. You know what I mean? So to hear that kind of thing is like it's either ignorance or lack of consideration. You know what I mean? For the people that have been here for forever.
And I mean, I'm not a DC native either. I'm one of these people who came in with the winds. I came in to go to Howard University in 1994, but I listened, I noticed, I watched people, I read books. You know, I could learn that there's a whole world of go-go that's here. And when I was on Saturday, I was at an event at the Georgetown Library where we were talking about this topic, and met a gentleman who was a huge go-go fan, 12th generation Washingtonian on his mother's side, on his father's side, 16th generation Washingtonian on his mother's side.
Wow.
So they exist, they're here, they're having lots of fun, and
We've been here.
yeah, we've been here, yes.
So now I want to dig into the idea of go-go and how it meets DC and the community and how things are changing in communities and what that means for go-go.
Mhm.
Natalie, you were a part of Don't Mute DC, which was a petition that went out after there was a incident that is now pretty infamous in DC where a resident at a nearby condo wanted the music at a Metro PCS on 7th Street in Shaw shut down. They wanted them to not play their music so loud anymore, and the music that they were playing was go-go. And this inspired a lot of passionate response and went on for several months. Natalie, I want you to talk us through why people felt so deeply about that situation and kind of your work around it.
Yeah, so it was sort of like, it was so on the nose, you know, that it was this particular corner, which is where U Street begins, historically the segregated part of DC. You know, Black people did not choose to be put there, but segregation sort of determined that. But yet there's all this amazing life there. You know, Langston Hughes wrote about it. He wrote about the songs of 7th Street, you know, and how they inspired his poetry. And you had Duke Ellington that played on that strip, and Chuck Brown, and you had the Howard Theater. And so there's like this rich cultural tradition that's been under attack in the last, you know, 20 years, really, since gentrification has sort of been picking up. And so it was sort of like one of these last stand things. So I created this petition with Ronald Moten, and it got 80,000 signatures, Don't Mute DC Music and Culture. And it really sort of has, you know, is like there's a fierce defense of the music that was born here, but also just the whole way of life. I mean, you're talking about a city that 20,000 Black Washingtonians have been documented to have been pushed out of DC, in a very short amount of time. So it's about the music, but then it's so much more.
Yeah. It was almost like a call and cry. You know what I mean? It gave the music a shot in the arm during that time because I mean, like you said, we have so many people that grew up on the music, being born here, and have basically their whole lives built around the go-go. You know what I mean? It's not traditionally the word that most people outside of here can gravitate to or recognize what it means. But the go-go is, just to give a quick history, 1976, around 77, Chuck Brown infused what we call funk, disco, and jazz. And, traditionally, when you had a show or you had a concert or a party, the DJ would spin a song, people would dance, the song would stop, and he'll put another record on. And that gave people a chance to really go sit down. So Chuck Brown started playing top 40 music, and in between songs, he would just play a beat. And the pocket beat would give us a chance to dance while he's switching or while he's transitioning the songs. And so it became go-go music because it kept going and going and going and going. And so, 40 years later, we're still going and going and going. And I've been doing it professionally now for the last 20 years. And so for us, it was a way of life. It was a part of DC culture. You know what I mean? It's the forgotten part almost up until they started the Don't Mute DC campaign. It's been really the forgotten music along with the forgotten people that have been here for, so many generations. And with so many, Black folk being pushed out of the city through, financial means or what have you, it's become sort of our calling cry. The go-go music is really our stamp of we're still here. You know what I mean? So it's been a rough ride, but it's a ride worth taking.
Well, I was going to say, so you are from a long lineage of go-go royalty.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel for this moment to bubble up and be centered around basically a criticism of trying to stop and silence go-go music in particular? What did that feel like, having been a fifth
generation, yeah,
Washington, D.C. native?
It's really been a sign of the times. It's like a microcosm and a macrocosm. It's really the small thing that represents the big thing that's going on all around the country, really. You know what I mean? The inner cities, like you said, Black people didn't choose to be here. Washington, D.C. historically was one of the places, was the hub for a lot of African Americans to be able to be free.
Chocolate City.
At a time when we weren't able to be free in a lot of places. And so, excuse me, when we became Washingtonians, it was nicknamed Chocolate City for a reason. It was predominantly Black. And, there was a culture of, socializing in bars and clubs, and the music became our unifying kind of source of pride. And even to this day, you go somewhere, kids go to college, they hear go-go music, and they're like, what you know about that DC stuff? You know what I mean? And so it becomes a sense of, it's really the icebreaker in a lot of conversations when you come from this area.
Yeah. And I just wanted to add to that. It was, he said that it was a place that people came to be free. And that's quite literally, during the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation came to DC 9 months before it came to the rest of the country.
Yep.
And so the line, DC is this diamond shape. So if you crossed over from Maryland or Virginia and you crossed over that DC line, you literally were free, and so you had tens of thousands of people who came to former enslaved people who came into DC, and you had institutions like Howard University, where I teach, that sort of have been a beacon, for people seeking freedom, and so it's not a secret that it's not surprising that something like go-go would sort of come out of that, because it's also, as he mentioned, it's a way of life. I mean, it's a whole, I talk about go-go in my book as being a collection of Black-owned businesses. And so Don Campbell, who owned the Metro PCS store at the corner of 7th Street and Florida Avenue, he was sort of one of those businesses that people have been, aside from the musicians, you have the people who sell the music, people who promote the music, people who own the clubs, people who promote the clubs, sound engineers, you have affiliated fashion industry that's came out of go-go music. So it's a whole economy that sort of has allowed, DC in its really most challenging times when there wasn't a lot of the surpluses in the budgets and there wasn't a lot of economic investment. It really is something that allowed people to survive in DC. So when it's under attack, you're going to hear something about that.
Yeah.
How do you think that the gentrification of DC, the pushing out of some of the Black families who have lived here for generations, how do you think that's affecting the culture as it pertains to music, to go-go, to art? How is it changing the culture of DC?
Well, it's a loaded question. When I was coming up, we had a farm system. You know what I mean? We had a feeder system where music was prevalent in schools. Musicians were being bred, so to speak. I went to a school where, we had one of the best bands, Eastern Senior High School, prior to Capitol Hill. We had one of the best marching bands. Eastern in the building.
Hey,
Blue. Of course, with Duke Ellington, but all of the most of the DC public schools back then had a music program, and it was basically feeding the go-go community. With so many people being pushed out, the feeder program is sort of stopped. You know what I mean? So it's affected the long-term growth of the music, and not really having, like I said, I've been in since I was 9 years old. I aspired to be, like the guys I've watched at block parties and clubs and that kind of thing. But now, the kids don't really have that interest in playing live music like they had when I was a kid. And so, with the gentrification part of it, it's all about budgets. It's all about the interests of the people. And DC is a transient town. It's a political town. On the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with their kids, with people that come into the city to live, with their kids, they have their own interests. You know what I mean? And so they might not be into what we were into as kids, as far as what's already been here, as far as the culture of DC. And so I think it's really on us and a lot of people that come here to really get, want to be acclimated, want to learn, want to learn about our culture, so we can start that feeder program again. You know what I mean? So we can continue to have just people want to be into the music.
absolutely. So, who do these young? Oh, wait a minute. Who do these young kids have? I pause that. Okay. I'm the captain of this shit. God damn it. I'm the engineer. I'm the goddamn CEO. Shout out to DB and Sean and Ty. We had Nika Ray and E. This played your boy. But now he's talking that talk like, yeah, like we came up and we looked at personally, I looked at a Foots and a Juju and the Sugarfoot Rick, or then later a Buggy, a Jammin' Jeff, Blue Eyed Daryl before them, Blue Eyed Daryl, Jammin' Jeff, Buggy. Let's get the order right. So I'm looking at these guys to aspire to be something like them, because they inspired me and they influenced me to want to play the drums, right? Specifically in the go-go fashion in this DMV area. And I mean, we can get into where I went to high school and this and that, but I'm DMV, I'm DC, whatever. DC people, man, I'm uptown, I'm southeast, I'm everything, right? I'm everything. And it is what it is. And my influences dictate that. So yeah, and when they start pulling those programs, and the funding for these marching bands and these school programs and the music, it creates a collapse in the food chain or the system, right? Now with these youngins, and then with hip hop and the publicity or the marketing, or the bombardment of hip hop and go rap and you're gonna get this much money and you can have these cars and this money and these girls and live here, which what they showing you is not really realistic, overall. And a lot of things happened since 2000, especially since 2010 and 12 and beyond. As the music industry changed with streaming and digital things, you know. So, you know, just saying that go-go is unique because when I came up, I wanted to be Foots. I wanted to be Blue Eyed Daryl. I wanted to be Juju. I wanted to be Sugarfoot Rick. I wanted to be like Jammin' Jeff, right? And so Nicky Bonds wanted to be like Mickey. He wanted to be like Jungle Boogie. He wanted to be like Sauce. He wanted to be like Winko, right? Scooby, which was the two man, it was like 2000 or something, right? That little strip. I don't remember what this club was, but right where Bliss was and the Taj Mahal and all these joints. I mean, it was like 2000, 2001. And I'm playing with Soul Patrol, and I'm not going to many go-go's. And we pull up on Optimistic Tribe because we were fans of Optimistic Tribe, even though they was our arch rivals, right? And I pull up at this show, and Scooby pulled out the guitar. I'll never forget it. Ask him. Yeah, ask Scooby. It was about 2000, 2001. He pulled out that guitar. And I was like, not only did this nigga voice capture me, so Scooby voice, like I always been a Scooby fan, right? It's something about the tone of his voice that relates to Stevie Wonder, which is my favorite artist of all time, right? And there's something about Scooby, like Sunshine is one of my favorite joints. RLD, I'm in big support of. That's why I just played y'all that. Because you know some people is true to this and some people is new to this, but big respect to my man Scooby. So I'm just saying that to say these days it doesn't, you know, they've removed it, like he's saying, from the schools and the marching band and the pride that comes from being a musician, right? Which started in schools, which translated to bands with Eastern, with Baloo, with Bladensburg, Northwestern, with Crossland, right? With your Tanks and your, you know, Derek Holmeses and Genuines and Friendly and, you know, Physical Wonder. I think Genuine played with Physical Wonder. Rich Harrison played with somebody. I don't remember the name of the band. But a lot of these guys that have went on to greater, bigger things come from go-go. So we're saying what makes go-go unique? Y'all with me? Okay. Huh? It'd be a lot, bro. I just be trying to get it. I be trying. Jay Smalls in the building. What's up, my brother? I'm trying to bring it all home. Dynamite horn player right there, Jay Small, right? Black Print Band. My man Jamal on the Congos, left hand Jamal. That was the tail end of my Soul Patrol thing, right? I had Kenny. Well, I had nobody at first. Okay, let's be clear. I started with Soul Patrol at Club U on Thursdays before that 95 Live listen shit. When they had Jada Kiss and all these artists coming through. That's Scooter. That's Benny Dancy. Shout out to Scooter. Flew us up in there with W, Ellington, the W, and you know, and goddamn that motherfucker chicken wing, that little plate, right? Chicken wings, potato salad, and green beans, nigga. The plate this big. You want to stack that shit, and grandma, mama, I don't know her name, but I really live this. Same grandma, mama that cooked the wings at the Met. We done had talks. Hey Slim, you damn near fight somebody in that line to get the free get the free shit. And you gonna come back 3 times. So every week on Thursdays, starting about 1999, before my daughter was born. Because my daughter was born during this Club U session. I remember I went on a break. I was going through the bathroom through the side door. You know. And man, this is before everything. Before Essence on Saturday, before the 95 Live. I say this all the time. I remember Genghis would be in there every week. But now as I'm doing more data, yeah, Genghis live right up the street. He can ride his bike. He can walk down there. But Genghis appreciates real music. You know, Genghis E, Sali, Bootsy Vegas, shout out to these guys. Like, they might look one way on the surface, but these dudes really understand music. They really do. They really understand the music and the transitions and what should happen. You know, irregardless, is that a word? Regardless of the, you know, street acumen or the street annotation, or the street association, or what you might see as them, what you might see of them on the surface. Oh man, I've had a great life and a great um just and like a fucking past to be able to talk to certain people, and and get just the nitty-gritty of these people, like who are you for real. And so the show is about goddamn what makes go unique. I love y'all. The horn hits, right? The grooves, right? The horn hits. Bam! Sock, 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 bam! Sock, 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 bunk, bunk, banana. Bam! Sock, 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 bam! Whack, back, sock, and a turnaround. But dun dun banana. Bam! Socket, 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 bam! Rocket, socket, 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 bam! Rocket, socket, 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 bam! Rocket, socket, ba-da-ba-ba-da. Right? So these hits, and if you look at the Huggabucks, if you listen to the whole thing, the catalog, right, the anthology, those hits are so important because, like we said, what's the first, and main influence of what makes go-go different is the drums and the congos and that swing and how they're mixed, right? So then next comes, because a lot of that becomes between those grooves, like Chuck established through the Los Latinos, and through his travels of what he was doing, right? And we let this percussion ride, and I'm gonna talk to the people, right? And so as I talk to the people, and that percussion is riding, how do I make it not so boring? We're gonna hit them hits on a one. Splam! It started as a trumpet and a sax and a trombone in the 76, 78, 79, because the synthesizer was just born, right? And so that's what they was doing. Slam! Oh, come to party tonight. Sweet Tisha, sweet Monica. And then Chuck freestyling, just doing what he do with his God-given talent, right? This is how all this started. Slam! We're gonna let it ride because we trying to connect this song with this song, but we don't want to stop. And the key might be different. The tempo might be different even, but we're gonna blend the tempo like a DJ, do it like a DJ, right? But in between that, I'm gonna talk to the people who are here, who got a celebration, an anniversary. Ow. And so as that beat riding, Chuck is doing that on the guitar. It's a percussive thing. where you just hold the strings real lightly. We call it chucking, but Bob Marley and them call it scratching, right? This is nothing new. It's nothing new under the sun, right? That element, that rhythmic element that comes from the guitar, it was there before. We call it chucking because Chuck is the goddamn father. You hear me? All right, y'all gonna learn today. Y'all gonna learn today. Hey, goddamn Jose Williams in the building. What's good, my brother? The Congo, the Heartbeat Congo Hour. The creator of CPU, he know Chuck way better than me. Hey, Jose, you want to come in on this joint? Please, I need help. Please, can you come through? I'll send you the link. Let me know. But right, so these things are what makes go-go unique. Very similar to rock, and we talking about the velocity and the energy that the drums create, right? But the rhythmic style of the guitar and the swing, where it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that go-go swing, starting from, what's that? Dizzy Gillespie? Who was that? Duke Ellington. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got. That was a jazz thing, and and a lot of Chuck joints are covers, right? Because he was pulling from these people as he should, right? Which here we are today. So, but the crowd participation, as Sean I think said earlier, right? Very important. That give and take from the crowd, because the energy comes from the crowd. Because you got to think, these musicians are human. Okay. I talk to people. I'm a musician. Yeah, it's a lot of expectations on these musicians, and especially in go-go. Because we ain't on tour, nothing. But we at home and we got to do 3 shows a week. And, bills is real. Wifey, getting on my nerves. Son and daughter and did something wild in school this week. All the shit that everybody goes through. Human shit, right? Musicians are human. But when y'all come to that go-go, y'all expect the motherfucker to be superhuman. And it's not always the case. Like, people are human beings. They just happen to be exceptional about improvisation and doing this go-go thing, right? So sometimes you got to think about that. You got to give a motherfucker a pass, a band a pass. A band ain't gonna crank on 1,000 every goddamn time you go see him, even though the price might dictate that. Maybe you got to talk to the promoters about that. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just here to talk about why is go-go unique, and these are all the reasons. The atmosphere, right? You come up in that joint, and depending on what angle you coming from, who you are, it could be great or it could be like, this is nothing, right? It could be. But if you got a little status in the city and you put your hand up, or they may recognize you, they gonna give you that love, that shit feel good, right? So these are the reasons that go-go is different, because it's just something that doesn't happen in other places. When you go back to the beat and you go back to the groove, okay. So I put a joint up. I think it was 190 or 94, whatever. And I'm just gonna say this right now. I know Chuck Brown is Chuck Brown, and I know that his party, Chuck parties had to, they would pull in all the ballers of the city and all the money getters. It was a certain upper echelon of folks that would come through. But oh my God, what's that? I think it was 11-1. It was right before the 11-24 Hyatt Raz's reunion. Whatever it is, it's all that's on my YouTube. But these boys, my man Bobby Ray, shout out Bobby Ray, was playing this joint for me one time, but I got it from King of the Go-Go Beat. And they was like warming up, playing like the older grooves to prepare for this Hyatt Regency 94, I believe, reunion. And like when I listen to that shit, that's the best shit in go-go, period. Beyond Chuck Brown, beyond Trouble Funk. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, and I'm back y'all for life, and I'm a hugger so I'm just saying. And JJYB is, you know what I'm saying? But when Essence will get into them grooves, Slim, and them horns will get to playing, do I need to play that for y'all? Do I need to play that for y'all? Right quick. Hold up. And the cowbell. Thank you, Alfie. Thank you. Do I need to play that for y'all? And I don't know. Okay, yeah, I need to play that for y'all. And I got some more with Chuck's son that I want to play, but hold up. Hold up. Let's make this official. Come on. I think I need to just play young when Essence would get into that goddamn groove, bro. I goddamn swear. Hold up. Let me see. So I got it. I got it for you because it's on my shit. And it's just like, and when I sit and listen to it as an older man, you know, like Chuck was always cool. You know, I respect boom boom boom. But 11190. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play that for y'all. I had to play that for y'all. Now, a little piece of it. Because somebody commented the essence of go-go. And it's like, yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's not that. Let's let these ask me, what are we doing over here? Okay, y'all can't feel it. Okay, hear about it. Okay. All right. So real quick, y'all. Real quick. Let me play this. The essence of go-go. Hey Sean, huh? You hear me?
Don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
We about to start. Nah, real talk. Real talk. Just bear with me for a minute, y'all. This shit is 9:17. Look, hey, look. Think about this. Like really, I just need y'all to think about this. Like these dudes, the grooves, when it came to the grooves and the horns, this is the essence of go-go.
Celebrating his birthday and also Miss Rachel and Yvette and Sylvia and all the buttons that was over his house. Yes, indeed.
I hear that.
I tell you, everybody had a birthday celebration at his house. I was just too tired, too lazy to get up and come over there and holler at you. Don't be mad. He said he's gonna bring some cake down here to you. All right. Get it now. Hey, horn. Just give me a little bit. Hey, Donnell, give me some over there. Yeah, just come on over there.
See how they just grooving? He be talking shit about Donnell. Let me let this ride for a minute.
Get on down, my man. And down there as you walk. Give me some handles over there for Tracy. Yes, it was right. Yes, Miss Lady. Yes, I love it. The ladies of the kitchen
Shout out to Gina in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Jones on Rico 336 on Instagram, 21 prime time. That drip is rude. Join. Appreciate y'all. ATM Drew, Wally Ghost, Big Mac 9000, Joseph Walls, Bravo Reds. What's up, Bravo? In the building, right? But you know, when you think about just the grooves and the horns and how they implemented these things during that time, you know, that was special. And it's like, I gotta give it to them. That's the essence of go-go. So let me see if I can find another part, because they grooving on this joint, Slim.
Your love is so good. Love is
Woo, my goodness.
so good.
The wickedness, y'all.
Oh, sucks now.
Oh, sucks now. Shout out to Jazz Funk, you know. My guy.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. I'm the goddamn CEO.
You don't need no doing floor.
Hey.
You got everything, girl. Just do it too.
Yes.
How could it be?
Nice fucking name.
Let you know what I like. It must be you, girl. It must be alright. Your love is good.
Hey.
Your love is good. So good. Your love is good. So good. Your love is good. So good.
Oh. Yes. Oh. I
When that song we never release, y'all.
All right. Oh, that's on my YouTube. Okay. Y'all can go find that. But just the example of why go-go is so unique. Just that groove, and it could just ride for minutes, 10, 20 minutes. You know, they can stretch it, we can stretch a groove and, you know, participate with the audience. And, you know, it's just the atmosphere of a party and love. That's how it all generated. Just like we all in here, you know, on the pretense of love. Goddamn, you hear me? So yeah, I mean, thank you, hey Chester, Big Chest. Yeah, I gotta go check out Big Chest music, man. He got some great music, great horns and production of lyrics, everything. Shout out to Big Chest, man. I appreciate you tuning in, bro. Real talk. So just trying to, you know, just break it down and get to the nitty gritty, get to the root of it. I want to go back to this conversation with
So let's be clear on.
okay. I wanna go past some of this because some of this is really unnecessary. All right. Okay, so let's see. My man, Greg, Chuck oldest son, Greg, right? We was talking.
That plays it, to the people that play in the band, to the people that do the sound, to the people that manage. It's a big community, right? But we need every platform that we get. So when you got a Lizzo or CeeLo or anybody else for that matter, embracing the culture and trying to speak highly of it, please do not get in the way or allow hate or your personal opinion get in the way of growth. Because let's
Yeah.
just take in, consideration like UCB. Although they were trying to keep themselves alive, Lizzo just breathed breath back into them, just gave them life, right?
Right.
And the irony of that is, when I was just with them on Father's Day, they saying that this will be their last show. And I'm saying, are you out of your mind?
It's like a
This
rebirth.
is a, this is a rebirth. This is a wave that you need to ride and and put something else out there. So I got a couple of phone calls to make coming up this weekend to talk to Trey, talk to Eric, the drummer, talk to Mikey, and try to get them to rationalize with what's really going on right here. If God's giving you a second chance to do something major, because how long ago that song been out?
2004. That's when it dropped. I told you I'm doing
Over,
timeline on my.
over 20 years ago. And they're playing this thing on the radio like it came out last week.
Yeah.
Do you know how rare and odd that is for anybody's song
Yes.
except for Michael Jackson?
Yes. Yes. And look, and so another component is that we need to have our paperwork, our copyright, our ownerships in order so we can be compensated. Because remember, while they did Breakdown, that's the Hugger Bucks, right?
Did you say big?
And from what
Yes.
I heard, Charlie wasn't
Huh?
communicating with them
You
in the
know.
proper way, and so that song ended up on Madden 2008. Okay, and so that's a sample of us, and so saying that to
He
say
said,
we need
All right, we're gonna go.
stuff and this and that, because
feel great. I'm not gonna call no name, my man, right? I ran into him and he wasn't doing anything. And I said to him, I said, bro, what's going on? And man, I'm done with that. I can't, and I'm not this. I can, I'm done. I say, hold up. Let me tell you the same thing I told my dad, right? The moment you
Also, on this part, he was saying he ran into somebody that's influential in the go-go industry and still right. And he said, "Man, I'm done with this shit," because it could get very frustrating, right? It's very taxing to work in amongst our industry, even though we've kept it and we haven't allowed it to be exploited, and it's like black owned business, at its greatest heights. At this point, it's still dissension within the community, which is crazy, right? Like we haven't been exploited, we haven't been compromised, but there's still a lot of dissension amongst us. And so he was speaking of an artist that he knows that he was giving encouragement to. So just to give you what he's talking about.
walk away from this, everything that you put in is the moment that you be forgotten. And everything that you work with becomes a has been, right? If you don't die in the middle of this stuff, you're never going to get your flowers at the end. I'm
right,
telling you
your
this,
legacy
right?
won't be the same.
Your legacy
Yeah.
won't be the same
It
because
won't be.
you gotta give your life, you gotta give your all to
Yes.
your craft, right? And
I've
I
been there.
salute him.
I've
I
been there.
salute him. No, I salute him. He on his A game. He's out there and he's back. And every time he see me, all I do is get a head nod. Or man, he with me. Nah, man, yeah, this that, and the third,
Right.
right? But it's those words that of encouragement and understanding because it's a doggy dog world in all of the music genres. I don't care if it's hip hop, I don't care if it's country western, I don't care whatever it is, because you're gonna have people dealing with people and haters in the middle of people trying to get stuff done.
It's very frustrating. I have been there. I've walked away. I'm not doing it. I'm over here. I'm gonna produce. I'm gonna do rap, and I'm trying to chase that check and all that. But look, everything comes full circle. You see the reality of everything. And I moved to Atlanta for a couple years, and I came back, and I said, "This is I'm known in this genre, so to speak, right? And I'm a master at this. Like you know what I'm saying? I know this shit back and forth, left and right, up and down, right? And it made me realize, like, no, I need to get in this line. I need to work on this. I need to work on our culture instead of getting in that long line of producers and doing rap and beats and all that shit.
Right,
That's
right. But
beneath us, so to
all you
speak.
got
For real.
only culture you got to get into, Chiefy, is the one that's inside your head. Get
Oh,
inside your
absolutely.
element,
Mm-hmm.
get inside your element, and
Mm-hmm.
get your studio inside you.
Fact.
And whatever the creator moves you to create,
Right. No
put it
limits.
to it, put it to where it need to go at. Send it to whoever need to hear it, and the rest is going to come.
It's up
It's
to
going to
him.
come.
I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. Right, that's a whole conversation. I can't give y'all too much. Greg Peak, y'all, Chuck's son. You know what I mean? Hey, look, during the week, I talk to people. I talk to the legends, to the OGs, and sometimes we do I'm calling them about an interview. So I call Greg because I'm gonna try and get Wiley and KK, Chuck's kids, on the Cheef and Go, and we've had conversations about that. So I just hit him out the random, like, man, try and get a show for today. And he had some other things on the table, and he was like, man, that's crazy that you called me. And he was like, yeah, I get them, but what you doing? And so that's how we kind of got into that whole conversation of other things, man. But I talked to great people, man. Shout out to the pioneers and the legends, um, especially the ones that answer the phone and show love, and it's not too big, right? Shout out to Juju, shout out to Funk, shout out to DJ Cool, Greg, you know, everybody, because everybody life busy, and sometimes they don't answer the phone. That don't mean they you know it's nothing personal. We busy, man. We trying to pay. We got to get buy eggs and chicken and shit. So and pay. We'll fill a goddamn tank up, and prices are crazy. So I'm not going to sit in and put it on no personal shit. But some people are funny too in our community, and so one of the main things he kept saying was to show love. Hold up, so I'm gonna find out.
Come.
Yeah.
And
Find out for y'all. Hold up.
for every yes you get, you're gonna get 99 no's.
I'm gonna
This
find out.
go-go gonna ooze out of me.
It's a lot of people that think they're doing the genre good, but they're doing it more harm than good, right? Again, I won't call out no names.
Uh-oh.
They up there rubbing elbows with the high upper,
Mm-hmm.
echelons and asking for, monies for this and monies for that. They're not putting none of that where it need to go as far as, yeah. And this is what I missed about Mayor Gray, right? Because and for the advancement of young dad went to
They
Japan.
love your dad, and connections were published. Right? This
I said, yeah, but to hear you do this
I don't remember all the details, but
Hold up.
whole job, if they did
just to just build a whole facility to train from the ground up and have a way to distribute it, and connections were published, a way to get it out. So start it, teach the kids. We definitely need curriculum in the schools. It saved
but
my life. It saved a lot of
Listen,
people's lives. And
listen.
Okay, I ain't gonna be able to find it, y'all. But his main message was love. It's not enough love in the community. Like, show love. Like, let's embrace one another. Let's work with one another. Let's stop being closed off. It's so small. Our sound, our genre, our culture is so small in the midst of things, but so great in the midst of things at the same time. Micro and the macro and the micro, right? And so, but if we begin to show love to one another and build together, right? We all gonna have differences in opinion and agreement and approach. But if we all could just come together and figure out how to work together, we can make this thing that's so unique, so amazing, you know, so attached to just us. So like, like if you get a dog, right? And the dog just in the house and the dog don't never see nobody else. Whether you train it to be mean or not, if it don't interact with other people, if it's not socialized, when anybody come around, that dog gonna be mean to everybody. And so Gogo's like, that dog, top dog law. That dog is going to bite. If you want the dog to bite you, you come in here. If not, you got to call top dog laws. That dog's going to bite. He's going to bite hard, right? Real talk though. If we gotta build. We gotta branch out. We gotta look beyond our differences to build a greater thing, which is something that is spiritual and tied to the ancestry of our people, of our culture, of our country, through the Latin world, through the African Cuban world, through the Caribbean, all the way back to the motherland, to West Africa and Nigeria. Man, I mean, you could trace it, probably even further, all the way back to the native land, right? I'm on splice.com. And I'll be looking up stuff, and you'll find native patterns and rhythms that's very close to the wah wah coke, boom boom, boom boom, right? To these rhythms, and so we just got to be able to connect it. But most of all, we got to be able to connect Minnesota Avenue with Kennedy Street and Rittenhouse, and and a lot of that has been done over years. That shit wasn't happening, even with Baltimore, right? How do we put the pocket in the and slow it down right in the middle and figure out some way we can all work together? But mostly we talking about the big bands. How do we get Rare Essence, Junkyard, Backyard, Northeast, Still Familiar, Scooby the Godson, the series of company, Dirk, DC Vibe, Obsession, and them to go on even the East Coast tour, like a weekend, right? A 2-week tour. Then we branch out, right? How do we come together to spend the money that it takes to spread the music, right? Because that's all it is. You're going to take a little pay cut, but the experience is going to be priceless. So I'm gone, man. I ain't going to do much more than that. I've been here for a minute. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all go to gogoloops.net, you know what I'm talking about, to get all the best official goddamn go-go samples, go-go and percussion samples, hip-hop samples, and beyond. It's not, I'm not stuck there, right? But you get all the live go-go sockets and pockets, drum kits with the kick drums, the snare drums, hi-hats, cymbals, and timbales and congos and cowbells and crack cowbells and blocks and table beats. I got all that in there. That's the crank drum kit. I got the table kick, that lunchroom kick. We gonna do it for my main man. We gotta do it for my main man. Do it for my main man Greg P. Y'all came through. Shout out to Chuck Brown, the originator, Tony Fisher, y'all, and all that Trouble Phone crew. Yes, we do. We gonna do it for Juju and the Blue Eyed Daryl. Yes, and the Jammin' Jeff and Stomp Dog and the Buggy too, and the BYB, and so glad they came through, y'all. Type shit. Got all that. Drum kits, sample packs. You know what I'm talking about? And also, y'all can support the channel because, yeah, it ain't easy being Chief of Sheezy. This shit ain't easy. Send a little something to the Cash App. Yeah. Something to the Cash App. Okay? It's just, it's the greatest show. Chief and Go. Live. It's nobody better. I don't know anybody that's doing it better. Okay? Been doing it for a year almost. Maybe. Go to YouTube, subscribe. Go Loops TV, the best channel on YouTube. Okay? Huh? Go to Go Loops TV at Go Loops TV on YouTube and subscribe. Huh? And when you get there and you hit that subscribe button, you're gonna hear this. And that's how you know you down with the pound. You in with the clique. You know what I'm talking about? You in with the crew, and that's what it do. Nah, real shit, y'all. Hey, look, I love it. Clap it up for y'all. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hot damn Chief and Go. With me. Thank you. Doing it for the culture. Keeping it cranking for the culture. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Who was this? What's this? Hey, look. Hey, no, that's you, brother. I appreciate you. Jose. Heartbeat. When Heartbeat get on the Josh, he be like this. I remember my cousin Sweets used to be on my grandmother. My grandmother had a Chevy or Pontiac or something. The back windows ain't even go down but halfway. We ride up New Jersey and be high as shit. And she be like, yeah, you feel the breeze? She wouldn't even turn the air on. So my cousin Sweets would be on the dashboard, like, and Mickey was at the black hole. This is before I knew anything about anything. I was like, yeah. And he was nice to me though. I be like, yeah, Sweets can play the Congo. Man, Sweets can't play no damn Congos. But when I saw it, it was just like, oh, I see what he was showing me. And when I saw Jose Heartbeat for the first time, and it probably wasn't even the first time, but the internet bring you everything. And Jose was like this. Bloom, 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 bloom. Y'all know that's a flam when you hit it like this. Bloom, black. Bloom, 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 black, 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 bloom, 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 bloom. Shout out to Jose Williams, the Heartbeat Congo Hour. Much love to you, brother, the creator of CPU, pioneer of a lot of things, and definitely part of what makes the Chief and Go and what made the Chief and Go star. And much love. And the fact that you tuning in, brother, salute to you, much respect. That table beat is everything, ain't it, Alfie? That was everything at Blade. We be in that lunchroom, and me and Los, and somebody got the drums, and somebody got the congos, and somebody freestyling, or we doing it all together. However, right? We had a dude named Spook up Blade, right? We come in the morning, and he be in the window sills. When you come out the stairs, the window sills, the hollowness of them window sills was something amazing. And Spook would be cranking. And Cannabis went to Blade. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't know at the time, but because he was like the outcast. Like, you look at this dude, he's just like different from everybody, the way he was dressed, right? Shout out to Cannabis. Shout out to Mark, Jamaican Mark from the Bass Lounge right there on 450, across from the public playhouse. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Mark. I just ran into Mark, the Bass Lounge. You know what I mean? They doing their thing. You know what I'm talking about? But that's all that lineage of, that Bladensburg and them little hills right there. Shout out to Charlie Fenwick, old ass. Love him. Motherfucker. God damn it. You motherfuckers wasn't cranking. It's your fault, Felix. Shout out to Charlie, Hot Cold Sweat, Blue Eyed Daryl, Heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Hot Cold Sweat, right? Hammer, right? Rocksteady. I'm just a student of the game, right? But I love the game, and I appreciate the history And I appreciate you, my brother Jose. I saw a clip earlier. You had Prime Time on the show again. Shout out to Prime Time, RB and them, man. They special. Facts. Man, this go-go culture is unmatched. Shout out to DC Decades. You know what I'm talking about? And all the pages and that's showing love and you know and putting out content to push the culture forward. You know what I mean? Because that's important. We're gonna keep it cranking for the culture. The clap. Oh yeah. If we ain't had a table, that was it. Shake it, ladies. Yes. You understand? You understand how are you from that school? That's what we did. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm getting out of here. Back on Instagram. Johnson Rico 336. He probably gone. I don't know. I just be scrolling back and forth. 21 Prime Time 21. Yes. Appreciate you. The drip is rude. Came back again. ATM Drew. Wally Ghost. Big Mac 9000. Joseph Walls. Bravo Reds. I might have read all that. But yeah, appreciate y'all, man. I'm getting out of here. It was a good show. Especially when I made something from nothing. Much love, y'all. Rocksteady at Burner's Bar and Grill. Rocksteady put on the show, Slim. You know what I mean? One of the first. Shout out to Jammin' Jeff, which I think is the best go-go showman to ever grace the stage. Shout out to everybody, man. You know, much love. And most of all, peace, love, and crank. I'm out of here.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. On 95, I pledge allegiance to the crank. Oh, as long as I'm alive.
Cheef and go.